The silent reality of the human experience is that we are constantly broadcasting our deepest decisions long before we ever find the words to speak them. You have been taught that a woman's interest is a linear path and that you must wait for a clear verbal confirmation to know where you stand. But the cold psychological truth is that a woman makes her final decision about a man in a split second of subconscious alignment. And once that choice is made, her entire biology begins to leak the truth. There is a phenomenon I call the silent choice, where a woman has already committed her emotional future to you, while her conscious mind is still playing the game of being cautious. Most men are looking for a loud yes, but the man who understands female psychology is looking for the subconscious surrender. Today, I am pulling back the curtain on the hidden architecture of attraction. I am going to expose the 8 specific signs that prove she has already chosen you and why her body is confessing a truth that her mouth is still trying to hide. If you are ready to stop being the confused observer and start reading the raw data of her heart, you cannot afford to miss a single second of this. Most men walk through the world in a state of constant doubt because they are listening to what women say instead of watching what they do. You must realize that verbal language is a social tool used for protection, while body language is a biological tool used for connection. When a woman is secretly invested in you, she will exhibit a specific behavior I call the proximity tilt. Notice what happens to her physical orientation when you are in a room together. If she subconsciously angles her torso towards you and tilts her head even when she is talking to someone else, she is signaling that you are her primary anchor. Her limbic system has already designated you as the source of her safety and dopamine. While other men are waiting for a sign, you are watching her nervous system bow to your presence. This is the first level of the silent choice where her biology has already decided that your energy is the one she wants to orbit. The second pillar of this surrender is the vulnerability leak. A woman who has not chosen you will stay in her social mask. She will be polite, she will be distant, and she will keep the conversation on the surface. But the moment she chooses you internally, she will begin to share unfiltered data. She will tell you about her fears, her childhood mistakes, and her irrational insecurities. She isn't just talking, she is mapping her inner world for you to occupy. She is checking to see if you are a strong enough container to hold her chaos. If you stay steady and maintain your masculine frame during these leaks, you are reinforcing her decision. She is leaning into you because she has found the ground she was looking for. Most men get overwhelmed by this emotional surge, but the master knows that this is the highest form of psychological permission. This leads to the phenomenon of the protective shield. Watch how she reacts when other men enter the environment. A woman who has already chosen you will subconsciously close her energy to outside invitations. She will avoid prolonged eye contact with strangers, and she will keep her body oriented toward you as a way of signaling her claimed status. She is essentially telling the world that the vacancy in her heart has been filled. This exclusive focus is a biological imperative. Her brain has shifted from the searching phase to the securing phase. She is no longer looking for a better option because she has convinced herself that you are the legendary man she was promised. You have become her priority, and her every movement is designed to protect the connection she is building in her mind. The third thing you must master is the subtle touch protocol. When a woman is truly chosen, she will look for excuses to bridge the physical gap. It might be a light brush against your arm, a lingering hand on your shoulder, or a subconscious adjustment of your clothing. These are not accidents. They are tactile probes. She is testing the heat of your skin and the solidity of your presence. She wants to feel the weight of your masculine energy. If she allows you to enter her intimate zone without any hesitation, she is signaling that you have passed the ultimate security check. Her body is telling her limbic system that you are safe, you are strong, and you are yours. While most men are waiting for a kiss, you are reading the story her fingertips are telling you. The fourth hidden sign is the mirroring effect. Because she is deeply attuned to your presence, her brain will subconsciously begin to mimic your gestures, your pacing, and your vocal tone. This is neural synchrony. It is the highest form of subconscious rapport. If you lean back and she leans back, or if you take a drink and she follows suit, her brain is signaling that she is in total alignment with your reality. She has stepped into your frame, and she is comfortable there. She is no longer fighting for control because she has found a leader she trusts. This surrender is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of absolute attraction. You have become the director of the emotional scene, and she is happy to play her part in your story. You need to realize that her digital responsiveness is also a map of her internal hierarchy. A woman who has chosen you will treat your communication as a priority. She won't play the waiting game with her texts because the dopamine hit she gets from your interaction is more powerful than the ego boost she gets from being distant. She will share small details of her day with you, even when there is no logical reason to do so. She is digital anchoring her life to yours. She wants you to be a permanent resident in her mental space. While other men are wondering why they haven't heard back for 3 days, you are receiving the constant stream of her subconscious thoughts. You have moved from being a casual contact to being the center of her digital world. The final stage of the silent choice is the future cast. She will start using the word we instead of I when talking about future events. She will mention a concert next month or a restaurant she wants to try in the summer. She is slotting you into her future timeline. Her brain has already accepted the reality where you are a permanent fixture. She isn't asking for permission. She is stating a fact that her heart has already confirmed. If you recognize this sign, you realize that the chase is over and the leadership has begun. You are no longer trying to win her heart. You are now responsible for protecting it. True power in dating comes from this level of perception. It allows you to build a connection that is rooted in biological reality rather than just social noise. The signs are there screaming for your attention. You are no longer a confused observer. You are a master of the subconscious code. She has already chosen you in her soul, and her body is leaking the truth every time she looks at you. The only question left is, are you ready to lead the connection that she has already started? When you master your own presence, you master the attraction. Stop seeking and start being. The connection is real and the path is clear. Lead with absolute authority and let the silent language of her heart guide you to the legendary intimacy you deserve. The fingerprints of her memory are all over the silence. She is watching how you handle her weight and how you react to her warmth. Your strength is her safety, and your silence is your loudest answer. Be the man who doesn't need to be told he is wanted, because he is already sharp enough to know it. The legendary life is waiting for the man who is awake enough to see the truth in the spaces between the words. Trust the protocol, trust the body, and most importantly, trust the man you have become. You are now the director of the narrative, and the world will respond to you accordingly. Lead with presence and watch as the mystery of her heart unfolds in your favor. The most profound truths in life are often the ones we cannot see, but can only feel through the energy of another. The silent choice is an invisible force, but its effects are more real than anything she could ever say out loud. By understanding how to navigate the subconscious layers of attraction, you are tapping into an ancient biological code. You are moving beyond the surface-level games and entering the realm of true psychological mastery. Stay centered, stay disciplined, and stay aware of the shadow you are casting. Because in the end, it is the man who can master his own silence and his own perception who will always have the loudest voice in her heart. The era of guessing is over. You are the master of the code. Now go out and claim what is already yours. Lead with presence and let the silence speak the truth.